This week I've been playing a game from Strategy and Tactics magazine called Lest Darkness Fall. And just at the outset, I'll say I tend to like magazine games. I am fully aware of all of the foibles and flaws that come from them, but I do like the unique topics that are sometimes covered. And I don't mind tinkering most of the time. This one interested me. Lest Darkness Fall, Rome in Crisis. This one, I think it's issue 234, and it came out in 2006. And it's basically reflective of one of the most unstable periods of the Roman Empire, I think, 235 to 285 AD. And this is a remarkable period. This 50-year period, the mortality rate for emperors was off the charts. I think that there were 18 plus emperors that ruled during this 50-year period. I mean, I was listing through them. Half of them were assassinated. Some were killed by their own troops, fragged. Yeah, even back then. One fell off his horse. One supposedly was hit by lightning. Another one was captured and died in captivity. And there was just treachery, and it was just a remarkable period. And of course, the enemies at the time were Parthia to the east and the barbarians to the north. So that's pretty much what this game looks at. A very popular game that's out right now is from GMT called Time of Crisis, which pretty much covers the same period, although they're completely different games. This one in Strategy and Tactics is a two-player game. The one in GMT's boxed game is 2 to 4 players, I believe. The Strategy and Tactics one uses a hexagon map, and the one in GMT uses an area movement, I think. However, it covers the same crazy time period in the Roman Empire. So I was quite interested in that. This has a very simple sequence of play. It has an administrative phase at the beginning of the turn, and then the players alternate plays until both pass consecutively, or there's a chit drawn that gods are bored, and then when that happens, the game turn ends. And of course, there is a potential for a sudden death victory, but not the most likely thing that will happen, but it could happen. And that's with the capture of Rome or the capture of the capital of Parthia. So that's pretty much how it goes. However, there's a lot of detail in this game, a lot of chrome. During a person's action phase, they can move troops or they can combat with adjacent hexes. They can draw a chit out of the pool as their action if they want. They can perform treachery against the other player and as their action. So, I mean, in my game, this sort of chaos was rampant. I'll take a little bit of a look at the game board and tell you about how the first turn of play went. So this is all turn one. There's 5 turns in this game, and each turn is about 10 years worth of time. So a lot goes on. And in this first picture, we show the border with the Parthian Empire, with basically Asia Minor. And you see that the Roman Emperor is there fighting, trying to make a dent against the invasion of the Parthians. And of course, both sides lost a lot of troops in this, and it is indecisive at this stage. Because one of the actions that can happen is the Parthian barbarian player can do a treachery attack against the emperor, and if it succeeds, the emperor dies or is captured or something, and then a new emperor shows up, maybe in Rome, maybe in the field, it depends. So what happened here is my emperor ended up disappearing, and then a new one was appointed in Rome. This next picture shows some of the fighting near, in the Balkan region, I guess is what it would be today. But you see that the Romans have crossed the river and they've made some attacks into, the Gothic areas. So this has been somewhat successful, although it is, I think, an exercise in futility in some respects. Here's the result of one of the treachery attacks during the first turn, which the Parthian Goth player can choose to roll a die to betray the emperor, and on a 5 or a 6 it works. And what ends up happening is you roll on the emperor treachery table and get a result. And in this case, the emperor, died or was captured or something, or removed, and the new one appeared in Rome. So if he was out fighting in the field, that comes to an end and you get to start over. This shows how the turn ended. The Parthians finally drew the chit. The gods are bored, and if you pull that, you get to roll a die, and if you roll an even number, which I did, you can see it's a 4. The turn ends, and it's as chaotic as all of that. Then finally, when the next turn starts, you go through the administration phase, which basically means the Romans count up all their money, replace their troops if they want, and then the Goths and the Parthians get their troops back, and then you start all over again. And you do turn 2, which basically would be 245 to 255 AD. So after I got done with that, this is how the map looks as the Romans have rebuilt themselves. The barbarian area is replenished, and the same thing with the Parthia, and we continue. Anyway, that's where I'm going to stop this. The game was chaotic. It was an interesting period of time to look into. I don't know that this is a great game, but I had fun playing it. I had enjoyed being stimulated into thinking more about this time period in the Roman Empire. So until next time, enjoy your gaming.